the fires of Metz to the Ardennes, white hell, young Americans rode where the angels fell. 10th Armored Tiger, steel beasts in the snow. Sergeant Billy Brown soon wore a lieutenant's glow. Point tank leading TF Cherry that night, rushing to Bastogne to hold the crossroads tight. Jerry cans of fuel slung through the freeze, engines roaring warm for the infantry's ease. Young guardians in steel in the chaos and flame, Sherman's rumbling, guarding freedom's name. Through the death and destruction of Bastogne stand, they held the line with blood on their hands. Tigers of the Bulge, young and so bold, their story in steel will never grow old. Young guardians in steel. Long Valley's Crossroad, December 19, Panzers and 88s in a deadly machine. 8 tanks and crews lost in the swirling white. Your Sherman took a hit in the heart of the fight. Bow gunner fell silent as the tracers flew, but you clawed to cover where the artillery crew thundered their support through the bitter cold air, saving the remnants who refused to despair. Young guardians in steel in the chaos and flame, Sherman's rumbling, guarding freedom's name. Through the death and destruction of Bastogne stand, they held the line with blood on their hands. Tigers of the Bulge, young and so bold, their story in steel will never grow old. Young guardians in steel. Task Force Cherry shattered, nearly wiped from the map. 23 Shermans burning in the deadly trap, surrounded and reeling in the snow and the mud. But they bought the hours for the screaming eagle's blood. Billy Brown, from the point tank sergeant to lieutenant bold, led his young tigers through the fire and the cold. Nearly destroyed, but the line held fast. Guardians in steel, they weren't the last. Later in combat, the lieutenant was hit hard, wounded and scarred in the push through the yard. But he carried the fight to the war's bitter end, a young guardian's courage that time can't bend. For the bow gunner lost and the brothers who fell, for the fuel hauling crews in that frozen hell, my father's tank lived to fight one more day in the story of steel that won't fade away. Young guardians in steel in the chaos and flame, Sherman's rumbling, guarding freedom's name. Through the death and destruction of Bastogne stand, they held the line with blood on their hands. Tigers of the Bulge, young and so bold, their story in steel will never grow old. Young guardians in steel, wrapped in steel, wrapped in steel. This one's for my dad and the young men of Task Force Cherry, Lieutenant Bill Brown and all the tigers who stood in the snow when the world held its breath.